Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial on Burp Suite. Today we'll be exploring each tabs in Burp Suite and learning how to use it effectively. If you are not already familiar with Burp Suite, it's a web application security testing tool that helps you to find vulnerabilities and improve the security of your web application. Now let's get started. Like basically, I have already posted a blog on Burp Suite on my website, so you can find that on blog section. So by clicking here, you could also read some sort of introduction and some sort of like what is Burp Suite feature and capability, something like that. And basically, I have included the link to download the Burp Suite here also. So basically, you could go to my website. My website link I provided in the description, so you could find my website link there, and from there you could download the Burp Suite. And I will also show you how to configure that in a moment. So basically, before that, let me explain some sort of introductory part of the Burp Suite. Burp Suite is it's an all-in-one toolkit designed specifically for web application security testing. With its powerful proxy server and advanced tools, Burp Suite makes it easy to intercept and analyze and basically manipulate HTTP traffic between your browser and the server. Like it's basically hacked as like man in the middle, something like that. Before transferring it to the web server, it can intercept the data and that we could manipulate and then we can send it to the web server. So basically, in this video, we'll be taking a deep dive into Burp Suite and we will be exploring each tab of it. And from proxy to server, to help you become a Burp Suite power user, you will learn how to intercept and modify HTTP requests and analyze token randomness and more. With these advanced techniques, you will be able to take your web application security testing to next level and become a pro at uncovering vulnerabilities like a true hacker. Now let us begin with how to install the Burp Suite from their official website. Let me show that to you. Like basically you could download the link here from you can find the link here. So basically let me show you. Like you can click on this and it will be redirected to the Burp Suite website like directly. From here you could choose it. So basically I am showing today is all about the Burp Suite Community Edition. So then you can click which one. For example, if you are installing it on Linux, you could download for Linux or Mac OS from here. The procedure will be same. So let me click on Windows here and let me click on download. As you can see, it started downloading. Let me pause and resume back. As you can see, it has been downloaded. Let me click on this folder to open it. So from here, let me run it as an administrator. Let us wait till it installation. From here, let us click next. Like what folder should install? Let me make it default. Let me make it default. Now it's extracting the files. Let us wait for it. As you can see, it's installed now. Let me click on finish. From the start menu, let us search for Burp Suite and let us open it now from here. As you can see, it's loading now. Let's click on I accept. Let us click on temporary project like this. For saving, it will be not available for community edition. So if once we close the Burp Suite, all we done on this project will be get erased. So basically, let us click on temporary project here. Let us click on next. Start Burp. As you can see, this is the interface, or else we can say the UI of the Burp Suite. So basically, let us zoom in here. Let us see what are the tabs here. Let us we can see here the tab like the dashboard, the target, proxy, intruder, repeater, collaborator, sequencer, decoder, comparer, logger, and extensions. So basically, now let us move and let us know about all the tabs here, some of the basics and important tabs here. So basically today let us start with it's like the proxy tab. So basically from here, as we can see, and the first we can have is here is intercept, the HTTP history and the WebSocket history and the proxy setting. So basically from here we could turn on the intercept. Like here you can see the intercept is off here, and from here we can open the default browser that is already configured to use the Burp Suite's proxy. So basically we could configure this use this Chromium browser that will be pre-configured with the what we can say the Burp Suite's proxy, or else we could use the our default browsers like Edge or Firefox to configure the proxy setting to send the results, or else we could say any sort of the requests which are made by HTTP to the Burp Suite. So basically Let us begin with the proxy setting here. As you can see from the proxy setting here, the Burp Suite is configured here to use the loopback address. As we can see, the local host is like 127.0.0.1 on port number 8080. This is where Burp Suite is like waiting to intercept the traffic basically. So from here we could open the browser here. Now first I will show you how to use the default browser like which is come in built from Burp Suite. Let me open the browser here. As you can see, the Burp Suite browser will be open, which is basically Chromium. So basically, let me make it dual screen here. Like basically, as you can see, I'm at the dual screen here. Let me, for example, let me search for here some website. Let me go to google.com. Let you can we can see is here this content is being proxied through Burp Suite to view this details proxies. Like basically, it's alerting us like we are using the Burp Suite proxy. So basically, let us search here the for Altoro Mutual, which is a website, like which is a vulnerable website. Like let us open this website here. So basically, from let me explain you the target tab also here. Okay, as you can see, like the target tab is all about like what are all the websites that we are visiting here from here. So basically, so we could see here like what are all the websites that we could visiting it. It will be logged to the target, like it is like the tree structure of the webs will be logged in the target, which is nothing but sitemap. Like what are all the default things we are loading from the Chromium browser here. We could see that. So now basically from let us come back to the proxy tab. So let us make the interception on here. So basically I will show you how it will work. So basically from here let us give the username and let us give the password from here. So basically let us give the password, like let us give some anything the password, like something like root something like that. And as you can see the interception is on here, so let us press on log. As you can see, the page is not loading here. The like basically from the website it is traversed to the proxy where we set up here, so we can see the what are all the stuff it's going on. Like before that we are intercepted the request. As you can see the method it is post, which is basically, as we can know, the post is basically used to log in some sort of thing, like to send the form details. So basically the Altora Mutual website is using the HTTP, so we can see the username and password in the plain text. If the website is using HTTPS, which is Hypertext Transfer Protocol secured, or else we could say SSL or TLS, so basically the password will be encrypted. So here in this, what means we could see the password on the username in a clear text manner. So basically when the interception is on, we could capture that and we could modify it. For example, let me change the method here. Let me change it to the get request, and basically we can also change the password before sending it to the server. So basically let me change the password something like admin and the password to admin here. So basically now we can forward this request. Now let us clicking on by clicking on the request like forward, we could forward that. As you can see, it has been loaded. Even it is also get request, we got the web page. The first login details for will be like whatever the login details we are given, it's wrong. Basically the admin, and the admin is the default password for Altoro Mutual website. So basically this is how the interception method will be on. So basically we could send the request from the from our browser to the Burp Suite. From Burp Suite, we could edit sort of like we could manipulate any sort of request which is there, and then we could send that back to the web server by changing any sort of the request, or else we could say that will happen from this. And the second tab inside the proxy is the HTTP history. Here we could see what are all the website basically we are visited. Let me change it to the recent. As you can see, the recent was the index.jsp, which is loaded after we are logging into the website. So basically this was a recent request, that is HTTP Altora Mutual, like what we are seeing in here. This is the latest request. So from here we could see the what are all the activities that are we made, or else that are we loaded on the Chromium browser. And this is this sort of the WebSocket WebSocket history. Let me explain this WebSocket in separate video. This too is main for this video. Let us come back to this, and now let us show you how you can configure the Burp Suite proxy, which is a loopback address, to your own browser. Like if you not think you should, I am not use Chromium browser, like I am not use default browser, let me configure to Firefox and do that stuff like that. So basically for that I will show you 1 minute. So basically for that what you should do means, let me get here and let me open my Firefox browser here. Let me take it here and let me go to setting here. Let me go to setting. Let me go down till you find network setting. As you can find the network setting here, let me click on setting here. As you can see, configure proxy access to the internet. So now it was set to use system proxy setting. Now we could click on manual proxy setting and we could like use this, like let us click here like 127.0.0.1 and let us set the port number to 8080. Let us make it also use this proxy for HTTPS and let us click on OK. Now let us check if it is working or not. Let me copy this same link here. Let me go to my Firefox browser and let me go to intercept here. Let me turn off this intercept as of now. Let me click on the same link and let me click enter first. As you can see, it's loaded. Let me go to login here, login page, and yeah, now let me turn on the interception here. As you can see, let us click here the default password and the login, and now let us click on intercept. Is as you can see the intercept is on here. Let me click on login here. As you can see, it's been navigated. Now you can see it's just loading and it's been navigated to the what you can say the Burp Suite proxy tab. From here we could change any sort of request. For example, let me change the password from here. Let me click on as the password as root. Let me forward this. As you can see, the login failed because I changed the password to what you can say the wrong password I had given. The default username was admin and admin. The password was admin. So I changed the password. So as you can see, it has failed. This is the reason, and this is how you could intercept the request before sending it to the what you can say the web browser. So this is how it will work. So basically this is all about the proxy and the target tab. Now let us in the next let us go to the intruder, and it is a main thing to sort of like any sort of attack we could launch from this intruder tab. Let us show this next. Now let me explain about the intruder tab. Like basically this is where you can automate attacks against the target web application. So basically to use the intruder tab, you will need to set up an attack, for example, like which consists of list of payloads and a target. Like you can use various tools in this tab, customize the attack such as like position of payloads or types of attack to perform. One thing that you could keep in mind when using the intruder tab, it is an automated attack, can be dangerous if you are not careful. Make sure they only use against applications that are vulnerable. So basically today I will show you how you can launch any sort of like brute force attack or else like password spraying attack, something like that. Let me show you how you can launch some sort of like brute force attack or default use some sort of let us give some sort of list of passwords and usernames and let us try to do some sort of attack here. So basically let us go to the any sort of URL which is having username or password. Let me go to the let me use Altera Mutual as the let me go to the login page where it is. Here you can find that. So basically let us go to the proxy tab again. Let me turn on the intercept here and let me click on some fake like fake password. Like I click on root and let me press on login. As you can see, it's able to capture the request from the interception from the proxy tab. So basically to send it to the intruder tab, just right click here, and as you can find here, send to intruder. Let me click on here and it will send to the intruder. As you can see in the intruder tab, it has been created a payload position. So as we can see, it's highlighted some sort of default here like session ID, submit, root, UID. Basically we are only want to get the username and the password here. So basically let us clear here first, and let me add, let first clear here, clear all thing, and just click on root and let me add here as like For example, consider you don't know the user ID and the password. Let me add this result one and this one. So basically, we're targeting on this two. We need to brute force on this two, or else we could give some sort of list of password. Let me change the sniper here. Sniper means basically it will give us the one payload only. So basically, when we are trying two or more here, like basically this is we don't know the username also, we don't know the password also. Basically here, let me change that to the cluster bomb here. This attack can use multiple payload sets. This is different payload sets for its defined position up to maximum. This attack can iterate. Let me click on this here and let me go to payloads here and let me click on two here. Basically, we are trying on, we need two lists, something like that. For example, let me add some sort of like, let me add root password admin, some anything you can give any sort of username, or else you could even load the list also from, if you have any sort of user list or else password list, you could load from here. Let me add some more here. Let me add Hemant. Let me add admin here. So basically I will add this 5 result here, and let me get into. Now I have added it to the payload set 2, as you can see. So basically let us change to payload 1 for user list. Let me add some sort of here. Let me add same here. Root, Hemant, password, admin, something like that. So basically after adding the two payloads, the first section is username you could add, then go to the second set. These are all the list I have given for two lists I can see, and I have selected for simple list here. If you want sort of like do all sort of attack, you could set for brute forcer, like it will do all sort of permutation and combination, like all sort of results it will be doing. Let us click on simple list as we are given the list. From after that we can like we could also set the resources, like what sort of resource it should use. Like if your system is low, you could go to setting and you could change that, like what sort of resource you could give some sort of like that. So basically now let us click on start attack here. As you can see the option start attack here, let us click on start attack here. As you can see, like it's a community edition, like it will be slow here. Let us click on OK, and as you can see it started. We're getting some sort of result here. Just trying. As you can see, some sort of like it's finished now. So as you can see here for root some sort of length has been varying, but from here as you can see it's the request. Let me go to response and let me click on render here. Let me go to here. Let me go to here. As you can see the length of the page has been changed here. Let me go. For all sort of like wrong password, for example here it is used like user as password and the another one as like password for admin. So it, as you can see, there was nothing we can find. Let me go to here admin. As you can see a cookie has been generated here, so we are given access to the web page here, and we also found that request. So basically now let us go to the website and let me turn off the interceptor here, and let me click on, as we can find the result as admin. Let me click on login. As you can see, we had been logged in. So basically this is how you could use Intruder to launch attack in sort of any sort of web page attack, like in sort of like when you find any sort of like web page having username or password, any sort of vulnerable website, use only vulnerable website. So basically from that you could basically use the intruder to launch any sort of attack. If you by trying handy when you're giving username and password for a long time, but you could use intruder tab to launch this sort of attack. This is how you could basically use the intruder tab to set the attack, or else like basically this is how it will work. Let us start with the repeater tab now. As you can see, I am in the repeater tab now. So basically, this is where you can send individual requests to the target web application and view the response. So basically, to use the repeater tab, like you need to capture any sort of request from the proxy tab or else like target tab. Once you have a request, you can send it to the repeater tab to modify it and send it again. So basically, the repeater tab is useful for testing individual requests and seeing how the application responds to different inputs. So basically, let me show you. Let me go to the proxy and let me turn on the interceptor here. Let me reload it. As you can see, it's captured now. So basically, if I changed once, for example, let me click on post, and if I'm try to forward this, as you can see, it will disappear here. I need that. If I need to send it again and again and again and again, so it will be difficult me to like intercept on off like that. That will be not a good stuff. So basically, let me turn off interceptor. Let me go to the target here, or else let me go to the proxy HTTP request. As you can see here, as you can see, this is the latest request. Let me click on this. Let me send it to the repeater here. So basically, send to repeater. And as you can see, this is the what this, as you can see, the web page request from here, what we can see. Or else like let me go again to the proxy. We can select as many as this: send to repeater, send to repeater, send to repeater. We can test as many as them. So basically we could rename them. So basically the first one is the Alchoro Mutual, like means Alchoro. So basically like this. For example, let me go to here and let me change it as get. Change it as get, and let me send this here. As you can see, we got the request here, and let me click on render here. As you can see, the web page here only. So basically, let us click as like put here. If we can see the put is also some sort of method. Put is also working here. So as we can change any sort of request here, let me delete this and let me send this. As you can see, it's loading, but some sort of not clearly. So basically we could input as many as think and we could test them. Like basically, let me use delete and let me change to version 1.1 to 1.2 and let me send. So as you can see, it's not working. So basically, it's not the connection has been closed here. So basically, the delete request has been closed, and there is no HTTP on. So basically, we could send as many as a request from here. I could, like it is like repeater. Like once we grab the request and we can send as many as time by editing the what we could say the page, the request as many as time. So we could find any sort of vulnerabilities in that request. So if the application is accepting that, why this application is accepting if you are putting the put request, why you should accepting it, it's a delete request, why it's accepting like when you are turning HTTP version, if you are changing the session ID also it's accepting the request. So what's the reason, what's the vulnerabilities here? So basically from this we could find that this is how the repeater tab will be used, basically to send as many as request by editing the request as many as time that we require. This is how the repeater tab will work. So basically, this is the sequencer tab, like where we can analyze the randomness of the tokens. Like basically, we could grab the session IDs and we could analyze the sessions, like we could analyze the weak session IDs or something like that. So let us walk through. Now, basically, let me log into the DVWA, where basically it comes under Metasploit. Now, let me go to DW security and let me set it to medium so that we can analyze it easily. Next, I can go to the weak section IDs, and then basically and again I can go to the proxy tab, and here I turn on the intercept, and basically so again I pressed on generate here, so it will generate a session ID from here. So we could capture that in the proxy tab. So basically what it will do means it will generate a session ID, so it will be captured to the what we could say the proxy server. So basically here we could not see the exact session ID. So basically for that, as we can get into the forward button, and when we move on to the HTTP history, in that we could see the exact like the session IDs in the HTTP history, where we will get back revert back the details. The cookie will be captured through this tab. So basically what we can do is like then we can send that to the what is sequencer, so that will be captured. As you can see here, it captured the cookie and the session. So basically the session ID you could see there, it is 16299761778. This is the session ID which is generated by DVWA website when we are accessed. So basically this is how it is a sequencer tab will capture the session ID. So now we can send some amount of capturing through this. So basically let us start the live capture. So basically we can analyze how the cookies will be generated one by one after the results. Like then we can compare these, what we can say, the session IDs. Like basically it's giving the random sort of session IDs, or after it's just adding 2 3 numbers to the same numbers. So that will be the vulnerability of the session ID, so that we could consider that as a weak session ID surveillance. That we could basically, that could be the reason of that. So there is some problem. So let me click on that, and let me click on start live capture. So basically it's now started capturing. As you can see, it's going on. Let me wait for some time. Let me stop now. So basically now I can copy the token from there. So basically I will copy the token, and let me go to the notepad. Let me paste that. So basically, as you can see, this is the generated token ID from the by sending the different amount of status. As you can see, the cookies which they generated are just there. It is adding one number to the above. For example, you can see there 329, 329. So like after that 330. So it's just adding one number to the another session. So as we can predict the future, like we can proactively predict that this could be the next future session id. So using this sort of like what you can say session ids, it will be very difficult for us. So basically this is the reason why we should not use the weak session ids to our web servers. So basically we can easily compromise the other users data by using these session ids when they are interacting with the live. So basically the sequencer tab is helpful to compare this sort of thing. So basically this is how it will happen. So I hope it was a good video for you guys. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe to my channel.